Hello, hello, hello. How is everybody doing? Welcome to Bragg TV now, live from Lake Wiley, South Carolina.
I think we just do the Bragg Network. That way it
Bragg
covers
Network.
all areas of media.
That's really good. Can you tell she's feeling better? She's arguing with me. First thing, 10 seconds into the game, she's arguing with me.
I got a lot of time to catch up for. I am feeling some better. Thank you guys for the prayers. I really appreciate it. Definitely help. Not 100% yet, but at least well enough to be here. So
Exactly. So yeah, I'm really glad you guys are here. We've got a winner from last week, but for some reason my thing messed up, and my agenda where I was going to announce the winner, but luckily I remember who it was. Right? So all I got to do is scroll down here and find last week's show, and then I can tell you who the winner is.
Where you were by yourself?
The winner, yeah, when I was by myself, right?
Bless your heart. Bless your heart. Poor little thing.
I wasn't by myself, was I? Well, I wasn't by myself last week.
No, I was
just
here.
for a minute. Just for a minute, and then you came in.
Right.
So, Eugene, you were this close to winning. This close to winning, right?
Eugene LeBranch.
Yeah.
They already won.
They've won before.
Yeah.
But here's who won last time.
Okay.
Or this week. It's David Wickbold. WICKBOLDT. And I know
Good
that's
job,
who it
David.
was. David,
thanks for watching. Thanks for sharing.
Look, your mom's in the house. Teresa.
Hey, Mama.
Hey, Mother Teresa. So David, all you need to do is, what does he need to do?
Send an email to customerservice@larrygoins.com, and I will be able to get that real estate day trader course. You don't even have one in here now. Out to you.
I do right here.
The real estate day trader course out to you. Thank you. And while we're talking about that, thank you, Eugene, for being so patient with me. Last week you won. I was able to get that shipped out to you today. We had the event last week. I was sick yesterday and Monday, so that went out to you today. You'll get it soon.
Awesome. And they can call 877 Larry Go, right?
Go. 877 Larry Go for the investors kit.
Good.
That has the digital copies of the real estate day trading book, the HUD Homes Half Off book, some of our links to our training webinars, all kinds of stuff in that. So give 877 Larry Go a call, talk to Zenobia, and she will get that out for you. You can also text the word BRAG to 803-897-6063, and it'll do the same thing, except you just won't talk to Z.
That's right, but you want to talk to her.
Z's a good girl.
She is awesome, and that'll get you your free investors kit, right? Awesome. So there you have it. So please share. Every week we give away a real estate day trading and jumpstart. It's a $297 value on our website. And look, Z who?
Zenobia.
Kenny Culver.
She's our in-house Indian.
She's our virtual assistant from India.
Yeah.
But she's right down the hall. Right.
She's awesome. You would like her.
Yeah, she's really cool. So Kenny, I'm really glad you're on here, man. Kenny's been very active. He's working out, man, getting all fit. He's got a baby on the way.
I was going to say he's getting fit for the baby because he's going to have to keep up with the baby.
Because he's going to be up all night, right?
We're excited for you. We better get pictures too. I think she's due in July. June or July.
I think so. But I told Kenny the other day, I'm like, man, I'm really proud of you. He's getting fit. He's working out. He's doing good.
In business,
awesome.
Too.
Exactly. Great. He is. So I'm really proud of him. Kenny used to be in our office, and he's just a great guy. So check him out as well. So what do we need to talk about next?
I found out he's having a boy. The world's in trouble.
That's right.
The world's in trouble.
That's awesome. So the world is in trouble. Kenny is in trouble. That's it. You're welcome, man. You're welcome. We love you. Hey, so we want to talk about the deal of the week, right?
Okay.
The deal of the week. Last week we had our 3-day event, which went very well.
It did go well.
Yeah. Considering you were sick.
Considering I was sick the whole event.
She was.
I was warning people. I was walking around with hand sanitizer. Every time somebody would try to shake my hand, couldn't do it. Every time I had Lysol spraying. Every time there was a break, I was spraying chairs and the giveaway items and everything with Lysol, trying to keep everybody safe.
That's funny.
But yeah, sick the whole event. It did go well though. It was a good group, and we're looking forward to May. May is the next one. So we've already got people registering for May.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Wow,
Z sent me one today. So I know it'll sell out. And do you guys already want to go ahead and make your arrangements for that? We've already got the hotel. Everything's already lined up. So you can reach out to Z, or you can call 888-212-6567, or go to LarryGoinsLab.com and register your seat for that as well. And that's in May.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm having to type my scrolling notes while we're live, because right before we went live, the page shut down and somehow I lost all of my preset agenda.
Sorry. It's just hanging around. It's just lingering.
So
2 antibiotics later. Still not all that great.
Ben, March. Yeah, baby.
Now, March is different. March is the partner program. So that is a different event. So if you guys want to learn more about that, you can go to LarryGoins.com/apply and find out more about the program that's coming in March. That's a 3-day partner program. Completely different than the 3-day event we just had and the one that's coming up in May.
Exactly.
All right. So what are we talking about today?
Let's talk about the deal of the week. Okay. Let's talk about the deal of the week. Last week was a very short week where we're getting ready for the 3-day, right? We were getting ready for the 3-day, and we didn't. I wasn't really on the phone that much at all. I don't know that I got any deals last week itself, but on Monday I got 6 houses under contract.
I don't remember talking about any deals. I don't remember talking about any deals last week because we had the event. So neither one of us were on the phone.
I'm pretty sure we did. I did have a deal from either the beginning or the previous week, but
I think it was the end of the previous week. Anyway,
maybe so.
6 on this Monday though, when you were back.
Yeah, on Monday, and it was 3 different sellers. One deal, I'm buying a house that has a niece living in it.
Sorry.
I'm buying a house that has a niece. Look, Michael Demi's in the house. What's going on, buddy? How you doing? So this is a house that I'm buying for $15,000. It comes with a house that the niece lives in. Now, the niece is not paying anything, right? The niece is not paying anything. So, and the uncle's getting tired of just letting her live there for free.
You know, we got a bunch of uncles that are really great people.
We
selling
do.
us their properties.
We've got 3 right now.
Uncles seem to be the best, most generous people right now with the tenants, with the squatters. Right? The nephews and the nieces just squatting all in their house.
That's true. We do have 3 of them going right now. 3.
Crazy.
2, I know 2, maybe 3.
You don't hear that from parents. They don't say. You don't hear that from parent sellers that are like, "Oh yeah, my son's living there rent free." None of that mess. It's the uncles that have
That's true. If it's the parents treat you like a stray dog. You better get.
Don't though. That's so weird.
Get on out of here. Right. So it is good. It is good though. Good for us too.
Good for us.
So this one particular deal, I'm buying this house. It's like a 3-bedroom, 1-bath house, brick block house. Is it block or brick? I can't remember. Anyway, it's a house, right? and she's living there, so it's livable. And so we're buying that, and right beside it is another lot that has a single wide mobile home that his brother lived in, and his brother passed away, so he just got to go over there and get a few things out of it. And then right behind it is another vacant lot, right? A vacant lot that used to have a house on it, right? But now it's a vacant lot. So I'm buying all 3 of them, all 3 parcels for $15,000. All 3 parcels for $15,000, right? And this is a guy who told me on the initial call, I want to sell it so I can pay some taxes on his other property, and I don't think it's income taxes, but he has some other taxes he need to pay, and he wanted to pay down on his mortgage or pay off his mortgage on his primary residence. So, and I did have to hard close this guy. I had to hard sell him, but I told him, I said, this is what you told me you wanted to do. You wanted this money. Now you've got these assets sitting over here,
right,
that's worth $15,000, or that you're getting nothing out of, right? Or you can take that money and pay your taxes, and you can pay down on your mortgage. So you weigh, which one should it be, right? Which one is more beneficial to you? So I did have to hard close him, but I got him to sign the paperwork, and bada bing. And that was one of three offers I got accepted. The other one, I'm buying 2 properties for $22,000, I think. I got another one where I'm buying 2 properties for $22,000. I just got accepted today.
That's 20. I thought it was 21.
Well,
today.
Well, you know what? I don't think you heard the end of the conversation.
No,
because
I heard it to 21.
One house has a tenant, the other house is almost ready to rent. But I told him I would give him 22 if he would go ahead and finish the repairs and put a tenant in it before I buy it.
There you go.
Right, so it is 22. But the other one we got was 22 also. Manny, make them put out bandit signs too.
Why not?
The freeloaders.
Why not?
That's awesome, Manny. I love it. Hey, Tammy, what's up? How you doing? So that
is Allison on here today?
Allison? I don't see Allison. Let me see.
Scroll for her, just quickly.
Scroll. Allison. There's Steve. Steven, what's up? Eugene?
Nope.
Yep, no, not yet, but she'll see the replay, right? You hard close someone, Larry looks too nice.
Typically, if it is he doesn't have to. He's able to charm them before it gets to a hard close. But sometimes people have unrealistic expectations. Now, this guy doesn't sound like he had unrealistic expectations. He had just been in the industry a long time, from what I did hear of the conversation. So
the guy today.
Right, the guy today. The guy today, yeah. So he had just been in the industry for a long time. So guys that know their way around and know the conversation and know how the cat and mouse game works with negotiations, they're going to be a little bit tougher to close. So you're going to have to get a little bit harder than our typical sellers.
That's true.
But he usually is really nice, even though they can't see him. Like you say, he looks too nice. He sounds really nice on the phone too. But most of our sellers aren't hard closes at all.
No, most of them aren't. But I do tell them, listen, I just want to be upfront with you. If I can help you, great. If not, I'm going to try to give you some ideas to help you sell your property, right? And that's kind of what I do.
Yep.
Right. So the next thing, we're talking about the topic of the day. What was the topic of the day?
When to assign and when
to assign. There you go.
When to assign a double contract and when to actually do a double close.
Right. Eureka is in the house. Lisette in the house. What's up? All right. So here's the deal. We're talking about wholesaling here, which we do the vast majority of our deals is wholesaling.
It's not as bad as it was last week.
Well, you've had like 3 relapses.
I've had 2 relapses. I'm on my 2nd antibiotic, and I had a steroid patty. So it's getting better. But
wow.
Yeah.
So, okay. So let's talk about assignments versus double closes.
Right.
Okay.
Back to the topic at hand.
Exactly.
For the people.
And this is a good topic, really, because of all the deals we do, the vast majority of them, I would say, are assignments, but you've got to know when to do a double close, right? So an assignment is where I get a house under contract and it says and or assigns, and then I can assign that contract. I'm just selling the contract. The buyer, I need a shield. Yes, you're right. I need one of the, Kandas needs one of those masks.
I do not need a mask. Don't give him ideas, Eugene. You don't give him any ideas.
So anyway, we assign the contract and our buyer steps into our place and it's only one closing.
Right.
Okay. It's just one closing. Now, the double close, the term double close basically means I'm going to buy it and I'm going to sell it, right? I'm going to buy it and sell it, right? So also sometimes they call it a simultaneous close. But the part that means simultaneous or double close is I'm going to use my buyer's money to pay my seller. So I don't have to come to the closing table with any money. Okay. Now, some states don't allow you to do that. Some states don't allow you to do that.
Some attorneys in some states that allow it aren't going to let you do it.
Some attorneys or title companies aren't going to allow it. And if you don't know yet, you want to ask your local investors group for what's called an investor friendly attorney or title company. Those are your key words: investor friendly attorney or title company. Okay. Because some states use attorneys, some states use title companies, right?
Yep.
So now, so when to use an assignment and when to use a double close. Okay. There's some states, by the way, that have large, what do you call, transfer taxes, right? If you buy a house and sell it, you're going to pay a transfer tax every single time you buy and sell that house. So if you can avoid it at all costs, don't do a double close. Don't buy it and then resell it, because you're going to pay transfer tax on that deal.
Each
time. So not only do you have closing costs, but you'll have transfer tax as well. So if you're in a state that has transfer tax, try to avoid the double close, right? Also, when you do a double close, there's closing cost involved, because you're doing an A to B,
right?
Your seller to you, and then B to C, you to your buyer, right? So somebody's got to pick up all those closing costs in between, right?
And it's not going to be the attorney.
Right. No, they're not going to do it for free, right? So, but the key is to find a really good one. So usually, unless your assignment fee is pretty large, you want to use an assignment versus a double close. Now, if you have an assignment fee that's very large, you want to always do a double close so you don't kill your deal. For example, we've had 2 closings so far this week. We've got another one tomorrow. On Monday, we closed Sims, right?
Right.
How much did we buy and sell that one for?
Sims we bought for.
That was your deal.
That was my deal. We bought for $30 and sold it for $49.9.
$49.9? I thought we made 15 on it. We made 20?
I'm thinking we made 17 on it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
17 to 18.
Oh, okay, good. So did we do an assignment or did we?
No. Yes.
We did
an assignment on that one.
Okay, so we did an assignment on that one. So it was less than $20,000. It was an individual seller, right? And Kandas had a good rapport with them. So we weren't really concerned about that, okay? We weren't concerned about our seller getting mad that, oh, you're making almost $20,000, right?
I have good rapport with all my sellers.
That's good. So, so she didn't have to worry about that. So we did an assignment. Now, the other one we closed on Monday, we bought it for $50 and we sold it for $85. That's $35,000 wholesale fee, right?
Right.
We did close on that one and we did resell that one. I didn't want my seller coming back and saying, oh, with this or that, you're making way too much money, because I'd already renegotiated it down from $75,000 down to $50,000. Renegotiated after I had it under contract, right? I went back and renegotiated the deal and got an additional $25,000 discount, right?
Ben, if to Ben's question, will the new buyer know how much you purchase it for? If you do an assignment, yes, they will know how much you purchased it for and how much you're making. That shows on the HUD because your proceeds will be distributed from the closing. So that's going to show on the HUD.
Yeah, exactly.
With my property, my seller was only concerned that we weren't going to make more than she did, right? She wanted to, and that was part of a conversation that she and I had when we were out at the house. She wanted to know what we were going to do with it. And so vaguely I was telling her kind of how our company works and this, that, and the other. And what she wanted to make sure of is just nonchalantly, she said, I just don't want y'all making more than me. Okay, fair enough. We didn't. So we didn't because there wasn't a mortgage or anything on that house. So I knew that she would be okay seeing how much we made on that property. Exactly. As a seller. Yeah.
And there are cases where we make more than the seller. We bought them for $20 and sold them for $45,000, right?
Yep.
So there are cases that happens. and you need to do a double close on those kind of cases.
Now, we could also, now the other one that's closing this week, we're going to close on it and resell it. The Grover property. The Grover property. But that has nothing to do with the seller. The seller already knows. She's seen us already advertising the property. She knows how much we're making because she knows how much we're paying for it. And she doesn't have a problem with that. That's another one of my deals. But she doesn't have a problem.
Let me just point out, that's another one of my deals.
my sellers, knock on wood, are great. I build a lot of rapport on the front end. Will you stop, please? I build a lot of rapport on the front end. I'm very upfront. I'm very informative. So typically, to date, I haven't had any issues with mine. But we are going to close on that one because the interest that we have in the property, we don't want our buyers to know because they have been investors, our buyers to know how much we paid for it or how much we are paying for it. So we're just going to close and then resell it to them.
And that one, we're paying 25 and selling it for 50.
Yeah.
So we are making the same amount that the seller is.
Yeah, same amount.
We're making the same amount. So, all right. So, what else? Small assignment fees versus large assignment fees.
These aren't Eugene. These aren't HUD deals. These are all private sellers.
Right.
We're not doing HUD right now.
Is there any risk of the seller bypassing you as an investor, or is all the information only available after closing? So, if I ever have a deal that I'm concerned about,
there's a feeling you get.
Yeah, if you know, maybe I should even talk about that deal. But if there's a deal you're concerned about,
just be general about it.
Yeah, use vague generalities. So if there's a concern that the seller's going to go around you, you can file what's called a memorandum, okay, a notice of interest, memorandum of interest, and the attorney can file that for you. It won't cost you very much, and basically it's a cloud on the title. Your seller cannot sell to anyone else unless you release that cloud on the title
during the period of your contract.
During the period of your contract, if your contract expires, that's it.
Right.
So you can file a memorandum. We've had a situation come up where you have
a few of them out right now.
Well, we do have several memorandums filed right now, but we had a situation not too long ago where like this week, where a seller wanted to cancel the contract and we wanted to proceed as planned, and they even offered me cash money to cancel the contract. And then not only that, but then I got word later that the house had been broken into and vandalized, and we went out to check and it hadn't been vandalized. Right. So we just plan to go ahead and proceed, but we do have a memorandum on that property, right? We do have a memorandum on that property.
Because Larry got a feeling last week that something was going to kind of shake up with the deal. And so just to make sure our interest was secured with the contract we already have in place, we had it filed last week before we went to the event.
Yeah.
And now with good reason.
Exactly. So if you get a feeling, go with your gut, right? So
anyway.
Anyway. So the other time that you would use a double close versus an assignment is if just for some reason you don't want your buyer to know how much you're paying or how much you're making, or you don't want your seller to know how much you're making, because they are going to sign the HUD and it has your assignment fee on it. And if they're making 25 grand, but it says down at the bottom, your buyer's paying 50 grand, they're going to know that 25,000 is going to you, right? So if there's any reason you don't want them to know, for example, it might be a retail buyer, somebody's going to buy it to live in it or whatever, and they might try to go around you or whatever. So the other time that you want to use a double close versus assignments is if there's multiple people on title.
Yeah.
If they're like
lesson learned. Ask us how we know.
Exactly. We had a deal last month where there were 8 people on title. Okay. And I remember out here in the bullpen area, I said, let's make sure we close on it and resell it, because if we assign it, one of those 8 people is going to have a problem with us making
at least one of those 8 people is 35. What you said.
Yeah. One of those people is going to have a problem with us making 20 grand on this deal. Right. And we tried to push it through really quick. And in pushing it through, we failed to close and reclose, do
paperwork
a double close.
Got mixed up, yeah.
Exactly. So we ended up assigning it, and one of the 8 people saw how much we were making, and I had renegotiated. We were selling it for 40, right? and I negotiated it from 35 down to 20. I renegotiated it from 35 down to 20.
Yeah.
So we were making 20 grand on the deal. And one of those heirs said, look, nope, not going to do it. 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 Right.
And didn't.
And didn't. And so the guy I was dealing with, the one of the 8 that I was dealing with, I asked him, I said, so what is it going to take for us to do the deal? He said the original price, 35,000. So instead of making 20 grand, we only made 5.
Just like all the other heirs.
Right.
Everybody made the same amount on that deal.
Right. So
all because we tried to rush it through and paperwork got missed.
Exactly. So and he knew what the original price was. He knew he was still making money. He didn't mind that. He just wanted his cash.
Multiple heirs always close twice.
Multiple heirs always do a double closing, right? Also, if your buyer is waffly,
willy-nilly.
You know what waffly means. Yeah, if your buyer is willy-nilly,
Larry uses the word willy-nilly around all this.
Don't just go out there all willy-nilly. Right? So if your seller is waffly
or willy-nilly.
The other time is if your buyer and seller know each other or are talking to each other. Right? We had a deal this month, right, where the seller lived right next door. Every time we would send a buyer by to look at the property, the seller would walk over. Hey, how you doing? In fact,
let me tell you about this property.
I know. In fact, I got a call from a buyer who called me. They normally
on our field day. You sure did.
Yeah, I got a call from a buyer. Field day is when we go out and look at properties.
Those are my favorite days. They're my favorite days, though.
Which is very rare.
Field days.
Field trips. So I got a call from this buyer, and she said, "Yeah, I was calling about about the house over in Chester that you're selling." I was like, "How did you get my number?" She said, "Well, the seller next door gave it to me." So the seller is giving me my buyer's numbers, right? So
by buyer's his number.
Yeah, the buyer's my number. So what we ended up doing was are all these all cash? Yes, they're wholesaling. They're all cash wholesale deals, Tammy.
Yep.
Absolutely. So anyway, we ended up going ahead and closing on that.
Yep.
And now we're going to close with our buyer as well, because we're making 25 grand on that one too. We're buying it for 25 and selling it for 50, right?
Right. So here's the thing with that property is we are going to give the old owner an opportunity to not talk to, because we've had that house sold 3 times.
We did. We had it sold 3 times literally, and each one of them backed out because the seller's mouth, right? Talking about how much we're making.
So we're going to give her an opportunity to not talk to our buyers now because it has nothing to do with her. She doesn't own it anymore. But if it comes to it, we're going to have to go put no trespassing signs out, which Daniel and I were talking today. I mean, it could present a bad image to future buyers because you've got no trespassing signs, up, and has there been a problem before?
Right.
So it's
a good point. I didn't even think about that.
It's kind of a messy situation, but I think I'm going to take a buyer out there to it this week.
Really?
Yeah.
Awesome.
And I'll talk to the seller.
But we don't show houses.
We don't. We have minions for that. But
why are you leaving the office?
We have minions. Can Daniel hear me?
Nobody goes out and shows houses.
Nobody does. Well,
nobody does. Dan only shows houses if it's occupied and he does a one-time showing and has multiple people show up at one time.
It's like what is that called when they do that? It's like creating a buyer frenzy.
Yeah, round robin or something.
There's a name for that. I can't remember what it is. But
maybe one of you guys know.
Anyway, no, I'm trying to help somebody find a house.
Good.
So this one I will take out there.
And this is a house, by the way, over in Chester, South Carolina. And when I bought this house, they wanted to accept my offer, but they said it has 7 acres with it. They said, I want to pull back and only give you 1 acre, and we're going to keep the other 6 to see if we could sell it on our own. And I said, the only reason in the world I'm buying this is because of the 7 acres.
The land, yeah.
Otherwise, it's not worth it, because anybody wanting to move out in the middle of nowhere, out in the middle of Bumblefrick, right? is
wants land in Bumble Freak.
yeah, exactly. That's the only reason I want to move out to the middle of nowhere, right? So I can pay you the money, but I can't pay you if you're only going to give me 1 acre, right? So
we got 7.
Yeah, exactly. So the other thing which led me to my next topic, I've got a list of them up here, is if your seller lives next door, which Kandas already explained, right? So also, if you're going to buy more houses from your seller, you may want to keep how much you're making out of their view, because if you make 20 grand on a deal, even if you make 10 grand on a deal, and all you're doing is signing a contract, if they got another 10 houses they're getting ready to sell, they're like, you're not making 100 grand off of me. I'll tell you what, I'll sell you all 10 houses at once and you make 10 grand on all 10 of them.
Yeah. No.
Right? Total. So if you're going to buy more houses from your seller, that's another reason to use a double close as opposed to an assignment, right? And if you're selling to an end buyer getting a loan, that is a whole other story, right? Because your lender,
that's a mess.
Your lender, your lender is going to make sure that they pull title prior to, and if you don't own the property, that may kill your deal. And the lender may also require seasoning. You might have to own that property 30 days or 90 days or something like that. We don't wholesale to anybody getting a traditional loan, right? All of our wholesale buyers are cash or cash, right? One or the other.
Now that cash can come from them getting a HELOC and having cash to buy a property with, them pulling money out of their 401k or a retirement account and buying a property. Their cash can come from any location they need it to, but when we come to closing, it's a cash closing, not a finance closing.
That's true. They can use hard money, private money, cash partners, credit partners, HELOC, cash in stocks, bonds, retirement account, whatever. But our deal with them is cash, right? Our deal is cash, and they're going to close quick, right? And the last way that I want to talk about that you want to use a double close as opposed to an assignment is if your end buyer is an owner-occupant buyer, especially if they are a little
we will
waffling.
Not take Bitcoin.
Yep, no, Manny, we don't take Bitcoin. Nope, sorry. Goes up and goes down, goes up and down, right? So if your end buyer, they don't understand what we do. They don't understand wholesaling. They don't understand why we're even in the deal. Why am I buying this from you when they're the ones that own it, right? So they don't even understand that. So if you're selling to an owner-occupant buyer, think about it, and you may want to do a double close as opposed to doing an assignment, okay? And I don't know if you guys have noticed, but there's a lot of wholesalers out there that are making $3,000, $5,000, $7,000, up to $10,000. But it's very rare we do one under 10. Right? Our stuff is 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35,000. Right? That's how much we're making on each deal. And we do that because I am a hard closer. Now, we do that because we do negotiate good deals, right? And then sometimes we renegotiate, but I don't really know why we do it.
It's just how the numbers work out. I mean, that's
how the numbers work
out. Our target has been 12 to 15 minimum on our spread. So that's the numbers we go for. When we're analyzing deals, when acquisition managers are talking to sellers, they prep them, for different things. They try to price condition them with different questions that they ask. And so that's our target. And that's you put it out there and that's what you get. Yeah,
exactly. No, I didn't see that article in the paper about investors, but investors do get a bad rap.
They really do
get a bad rap, right?
And we get that on the phone too with people that get our postcard. Are you a scam? Where are you located? How do you know my address? I mean, there's all kinds of obstacles that we overcome on the front end when we, as acquisition managers, take the calls to try to lower people's defense mechanisms, to try to get them kind of to lower that guard from everything they've heard in the media about investors. And what we found is kind of just explaining to them how we help other people, what we're going to do with these properties, has really helped us with getting that defense down kind of quickly on the phone.
Exactly. Yeah. So, and you get some people that call up and are irate. They're mad. They're yelling at you. They leave a message. How did you get my address anyway? Especially if you mail out the Street View postcard. The Street View postcard is where it pulls the image from Google Maps and puts a picture of their house on the
Yeah.
postcard. They're like, have you been stalking me?
They
You've been driving
freak
by my
out.
house?
They
You
freak
better
out.
not come by my house again. Right?
No, but we better not come by and put something in their mailbox or call them. Well, we didn't even call them. They called us. But you just have to remain calm, and you just have to let them know you understand where we got the picture from, how we got their address. And if you can answer all those questions, I mean, they calm down as you give more information and they have a better understanding. Then there is a calming is not the word. There's something that happens to them, and they just kind of are like, okay, well, I don't want any more.
A rapport.
I don't want any more mailers. Take me off your list. Okay, fine. Or they say, oh, okay, well, I do have a house, or I don't have anything for sale, but my neighbor does. You know, you just kind of, it can go in any kind of direction.
Exactly. Look, William Tingle's in the house. What's up, buddy? How you doing? So Lisette wants to know, when you do an assignment, who pays the closing costs. Remember, an assignment is not a contract.
Right.
Whatever the contract says, whoever you assign it to, that's who pays the closing costs. And on our contracts, it says the buyer pays all closing costs.
Yep.
Whatever the price is, the seller's going to walk away with net minus any taxes they owe or liens or judgments.
Yep.
Right. So if we have an assignment fee of $20,000, we get a check for a wire for $20,000. Right. That's exactly what we get, is $20,000. So Dave Lee, could you talk more about price conditioning?
I think we should do a whole segment on that. Price conditioning.
You think so?
I do.
I don't know that it's that much content, but okay.
I think we could do a segment on price conditioning. I mean, if you don't want to, if you don't like that idea, then go ahead and tell them.
Yeah. We can do that. We can do that. Next week on Bragg.
Price conditioning.
On the Bragg Network is price conditioning, right? Price conditioning your seller and price conditioning your buyer. That'll make it for a good topic. Price conditioning both your seller and your buyer. Before we go, can I play this Matrix call?
So this call, as he's pulling this up here, this call was a call that I received from a seller that received one of our postcards. And yeah, so this is a seller. This is sometimes what you get off of the postcards.
I want you guys I hope you guys can hear it. Give us some feedback or comment if you can hear it, okay? So let's see if you can hear this, okay? Here it goes, right here.
Yes, I would like to know how you got this card into my house, through the carport, through a garage door, into my laundry room with no one here. If you could possibly tell me your strategy, how you
listen.
completely trespass.
This is a matrix shit.
I would like to talk to you,
Oh.
because this was you had to get through 4 different gates to get here, and you got it in my house. You are trespassing.
How'd it happen, though?
If it happens again, you will go to jail.
Like, you can't make this stuff up. You can't make this stuff up. That is a seller that called us. So I get this voicemail, and of course we play it like, I don't know, 8 times in the office, laughing like crazy. And I call the seller back because even though he didn't leave his number, our system captured it. And so I called him back and was like, I just wanted to call and let you know we didn't trespass in your house. Someone had to have brought that in, but if you'll give me the address we mailed it to, I will be glad to take it off. And he said, what did he say? He said, I didn't call. I said, yeah, you did. He said, no, I didn't. And don't call me back. Hung up. All right, we'll see you next month. We'll get another mailer.
That's her standard response. If somebody says, I'm not giving you my address, she says, okay, we'll see you next month.
What can you do? You're going to get another postcard if you don't give me the address to take off the list.
Down the chimney.
It was this
We're Santa
craziest
Claus.
thing.
We're Santa Claus.
We went into the house. Like, how does somebody rationally think that? Which obviously
Through 4 gates. My big question is, if you had need 4 gates, maybe somebody breaking in your house.
it should be your main concern. But it was
You
and
should want to sell your house if you've got 4 gates, right?
we have laughed more at that call. It has been so funny. Anytime somebody's having a bad day, we play the call. Because it's just funny. But yeah, you have those types of callers.
That's too funny.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, please share this video. Is there anything else you can think of we need to talk about?
No, call Z 877 Larry Go to get your investors kit. Talk to one of the guys on Larry Goins, or apply to be one of the partners on LarryGoins.com/apply, and the guys will give you a call back for that. Get registered for a 3-day event. There's all kinds of ways that you guys can keep up with us and learn more from us. Just engage, I guess, is all I got.
That's it.
That's it.
Well, guys, thank you so much. Next week, it's going to be all about price conditioning.
Thanks, Dave.
All about price conditioning. Your buyers and your sellers, both.
That's right.
So with that, thank you guys very much. We appreciate you watching. We'll see you next week.